Hey guys, welcome back to another Unbiased Magic Review, where of course I'm bringing you unbiased, honest, and of course unfiltered reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing for you guys an At the Table lecture. Before I get started, I just wanted to let you guys know that my hope is that this will be your number one magic review channel here on YouTube, because I handpick this stuff, either stuff that I think you should immediately start to learn, invest your time and money in, or stuff that you should avoid like the plague. And I have no problem telling you that, because nobody's sending me any of this stuff. I don't have a magic company behind me that's telling me to push products at you. And of course, I'm not here trying to throw out a video every day for you so that way I can meet some kind of quota, because I don't want you to waste your time watching magic reviews. I just want you to watch what you need so you can get the information you need to make the right decision. So hopefully stuff that I've purchased that I think you should avoid, you will avoid. So today I'm going to be reviewing for you guys the At the Table lecture by Myles Thornton. This is a British magician. This was put out 2 days ago by Vanishing Ink. You can pick this up for $8. And it's good. It's a lecture that's about 2 hours and 20 minutes long. All the material is impromptu. All the material is stand-up. You don't need a table for any of this stuff. And the other nice thing about it is that there's no card magic at all in this lecture, which is almost a shock because that's pretty rare overall. So I'm going to tell you the layout of the lecture, and then we'll go into the specifics of what I like and didn't like. And I'm even going to show you guys a couple of the things, the little pieces that I really liked, because I perform this stuff too. I'm not just here telling you stuff. I'm actually going to show it to you too. That's what I like to do. I like to show you the magic in my own hands so you can see that, and you know that I do the magic myself. So the first half of the lecture is all ring magic. And if you don't know Myles Thornton, I first became introduced to him about a year ago. He put out a product, I think it was like in May of 2018, around there. It was the summer of 2018. He put out this product called Circulus with Illusionist. And in there is a very beautiful effect where he takes a ring and he pulls it through his fingers one at a time. If you like this lecture, I highly recommend you pick up that, because that is a wonderful product. I mean, the routine is amazing. There is some sleight of hand in that routine. I'm going to let you know that up front, but it's definitely worth it. It will take a little bit of practice to learn it. So, but it's definitely worth it. So this lecture is broken up. Half of it is ring magic, and then the other half of it is split up between some coin magic and some contact juggling and how it applies to magic, which is kind of interesting, because here Myles has taken something that we consider to be, contact juggling is something that we see as kind of like circusy, and he's actually applied the magical aspect of it, and he's applied it to a wine glass. He came up with this wonderful floating effect. He calls it the impromptu float, and it's great. It really, in his hands, it looks so magical. When you watch that, you're going to want to learn that, and I want to learn it from watching him do it. So let's go over the pieces of the ring magic I really liked. So he goes over 8 different pieces of ring magic, and most of them are very short, and you can like mix and match to make your own routine. The very first routine is that he actually calls that the impromptu assassin, and that's like a 4-phase transposition ring and Sharpie routine. And it's really nice because the ring and the Sharpie trade places left and right. The ring vanishes and is replaced with the Sharpie, and back and forth. And the moves are easy. You will almost instantly be able to perform that after you learn it. I mean, you will learn it really fast, and you'll be able to go out and perform it immediately, which is nice because there's no that's not that difficult to learn, which is really great. I'll tell you this, all of the ring magic that he goes over, I think all of it is not difficult to learn on here. There's no knuckle busting stuff, because I know that there's some ring magic, like finger ring magic, that people don't like because it relies a lot on a lot of speed, a lot of dexterity and stuff like that. And so I don't think there's too much of that on there. There's an effect that he goes over. It's called Back in Time. I kind of liked it. I don't think it's very hard to do. Like, you take a ring and then you show the ring like this, and then you just start to move it like this, and then you show that it's back on your finger again. It's not difficult at all to do, and it looks very magical. I think that's great. The other ring routine that he goes over, the other piece that he goes over that I really liked a lot was there was something he called the teleporting ring. And that routine is based on a Ben Earl effect that he put out on a video that was called Real Coin Magic. And in that video, Ben Earl he just uses regular coins, and it's impromptu. And there's a lot of psychology that he goes over there. And this is based on that idea from there. And if you like this stuff, again, maybe you should also take a look at that. I also would recommend that Real Coin Magic by Ben Earl. I thought it was really great too. But in this effect, the teleporting ring, what I really liked about it is that the ring is shown and it's put in the hand like this. You ask the spectator to grab onto your wrists and you hold your hands out like this, which is what could be more fair than this, right? And then from here, when you want to, you just do this. And you show that the ring has teleported back to this other hand. Wonderful effect, wonderful. So I'm gonna tell you guys, so I went out and performed that yesterday, and I got some big reactions from that, huge. I'm gonna tell you, I performed this for 2 different people, and that was all I did for them. I didn't do anything else except that, and that's it. That's all I did because the reaction was so big. I realized that if I tried to follow that up with something else, that it was just gonna water it. So, it was gonna water it down. So you know what? I did that, and then I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna do anything else. That's good enough. So that was wonderful. And it's easy to do. It's not difficult at all. You'll learn it. I mean, I practiced it for, I don't know, maybe like, an hour or 2 before I got it. I mean, it's not difficult at all. As you could see, look, I just showed it to you, right? You see what I mean? I mean, I just learned it. I learned it yesterday. I went and performed it yesterday. I mean, it's just that simple. So I'm telling you, definitely, for me, that effect, that teleporting ring, is worth the price of the lecture. That alone is. So I highly recommend that to you guys, highly. So there's another effect he goes over, if that wasn't enough, right? One of those 8 effects, there's another effect down there. It's called Gypsy Vanish. And it's an effect where he takes a ring and he puts it on his thumb like this, and he does something, and then the ring vanishes, and then it reappears on his thumb. I would show it to you guys, but it would kind of expose the method because it's very simple to do, and you would easily see how it's done. But I don't want to expose it here. Obviously, I shouldn't do those things. But I'm just giving you an idea of what you're going to find there, because that Gypsy Vanish, what it reminds me of is if you've ever done the card to mouth, where somebody selects a card and you put it in there, you tell them to push it in, and while they're pushing it in, the card's already in your mouth, and they push it in and they look up and they see the cards in your mouth. That's exactly like this, but with a ring, because the ring vanishes right before their eyes, and then when next thing they know, it's back on your thumb again, and it's right under their nose. So it's like, and it's very, very easy to perform, very, very easy. So again, it's another one of those where I would say worth the value of the lecture, totally. So that's pretty much the ring stuff. There's a couple other little ring things he goes over there. He goes over an effect called stuck, where he tries to pull the ring off his finger and then ends up on the other finger stuck, and then he pulls it off and ends up on another finger. And it's a nice effect. I thought that was very original, at least. He goes over there's a couple of other little ring routines on there that you'll find that you probably like. None of them are knuckle busting or difficult. And then he goes over some coin stuff. There's a coin routine he goes over. It's called Full Circle, which is like probably the main coin routine on there. It's like a very workers type effect where you're using a coin purse and you're using a coin, and then it's where there's a production of a couple coins, and then there's a vanish of a couple coins, and you end up back the same way that you started. And probably the most difficult move is the Himber Vanish on there, which he also does give you an alternative move instead if you can't do the Himber Vanish. But I mean, it's not that difficult. I think that the Himber Vanish is something that you could learn if you put a little bit of practice into it. It's not that hard really overall. So that coin routine, I could see a lot of people would probably like to use that because it's a very commercial type effect. So that's the main coin routine on there. He does a coin flight routine too, where a coin vanishes, ends up back on a Sharpie. That was kind of nice as well. And then he goes over the contact juggling, where he shows you how to apply. He actually shows you the basics of contact juggling, and then he goes over how you can apply it to a wine glass, which I thought that was really nice. I thought that was very interesting, especially definitely something you'd want to learn. If you watch it, you'll want to learn that. So it's definitely something that I plan to try to like spend some time to learn how to do that, because it just looks so magical. You know, something floating in front of you just looks very magical. So I'll tell you guys the things I really didn't like about the lecture. Now, the things I didn't like about the lecture was this. I didn't like the host of the lecture. I don't even know who that was. He doesn't introduce himself, and he's horrible. He looks like he's totally clueless. He's like a spectator, really. He has no good constructive feedback of any sort. You know, a lot of the hosts on some of these lectures, like for instance, like Dan Harlan, even Greg Wilson, they provide good constructive feedback. They provide good intelligent questions, and they actually give their own suggestions during the lecture, which this other guy, he didn't. All he did was, oh, nice, nice, wow, nice. He liked every single thing that he showed him, right? And it's not that, I think that almost all of the magic that was shown was good magic. Of course, you know, you're probably not going to like all of it. I mean, there was a mentalism routine that he goes over, which I didn't like at all. I thought it was horrible because it involved just a force and a revelation. It was just so basic. I didn't think there was any place for that in the lecture. I thought it was horrible. This is definitely not something I would ever even consider to use, and not even slightly. So for me, that was the worst effect that he goes over. And I wish he had just left that out. There was a couple of little effects where he shows you how to do like a type of muscle pass, but with a Sharpie. Again, I didn't really like it because it looks like he's doing what he's doing. So I didn't think it was magical at all. But that's just me. That's my taste. You know, that's what I think. I would tell you guys that 75% of what's on this lecture is stuff that not only will you like it, you'll probably want to use it. Definitely usable. All of the materials impromptu in nature. All the materials stand up. And it's all really good stuff. In fact, I suspect if you pick this up, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up that other effect of his I told you about, that circulus that you can get from Illusionist, because it's also really good too. So overall, I would give this lecture 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth your time and effort. And just the ring material alone is worth the value of this. The idea with the contact juggling and that impromptu float effect with the wine glass, again, something that you're definitely going to want to learn. The coin routine, the full circle. It's a very, very simple, not difficult coin routine and very workable. So definitely something that it looks magical too. I think that a lot of people will really like it a lot. So I definitely would encourage you to check this out. I hope that you're enjoying my magic reviews, and guys, subscribe to the channel so that way you don't miss out on anything that I upload. If there's any magic at all that you're interested in, stuff you're wondering about picking up, just leave me a comment. I probably own it, or if I do, I'll definitely, and if I have experience with it, I'll make a review for you. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for checking it out.